at this point in time, we have a very interesting person from is Dr. Muhammad Zahir Asgar. He is a researcher in the Research Network of Education and ICT e-learning at the University of California. Um, no, at the University of Catalonia. Sorry. My pronunciation is going bad, and my eyesight is also sorry. He's from University of Catalonia, Barcelona, Spain. He has completed his PhD in the areas of entrepreneurship, education from UMT in collaboration with Alto Neuroships Education, technical vocational education and training, and education and ICT's e-learning. He has worked as a researcher at the University of Helsinki, Finland, and Dokuz Elia University, Izmir, Turkey. He has also worked as a secretary, strategic planning of the Technical Education and Vocational Training Authority, TEVTA, Punjab. Currently, five PhD students are working on this dissertation in the area of e-learning under his supervision. Dr. Muhammad Zahir Asgar, I would like for you to please turn on your video and also the mic, and I would hand it over to you. You will have about 10 minutes.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. How are
Thank
you?
you very much, Ali Chauhan, and everyone and your team. It's a wonderful forum that you have organized this conference. I'm really delighted to be here and honored to be here. Okay, I start my presentation without wasting any time. Just from screen sharing, I need to check. Okay. Education in emergency is not a new phenomena. There are two important things that as a human being, we love education and education is with us. But on the same side, on the other hand, emergency is also part of our human history in the form of conflict, wars, pandemics, like Spanish flu in 1920s in last century, then Ebola, SARS, and now we are on a stage to see a COVID-19 emergency. But one thing that is important, that education should not be stopped at all in any situation. Education in emergency is an important topic for educationists. So my topic is teacher education in COVID-19 emergency, because teachers play an important role in education in normal situation, and in especially emergency situation, it becomes more important. And accessibility and mobile technology acceptance for learning among pre-service teachers in Pakistan. If I talk about the other part of my topic, that is accessibility and mobile technology, one side is Corona emergency, but other side is accessibility. Accessibility is not only issue in the current era. We are facing this accessibility of education issue since the last 70 years of Pakistan. For example, if we see that 58% literacy, our literacy rate is 58%. So why we could not make it 100% possible? Because our accessibility of education to remote areas, rural areas, for marginalized children with disabilities was not so successful. And in this emergency situation, this point of accessibility has become more crucial. And this mobile technology, it has made easiest for us the things, but it is not so easy. We have to look into it. What is the accessibility of mobile technologies that we are using, the internet accessibility? And the other thing is that because teachers are going to utilize these mobiles, these internet for the accessibilities, we need to see how much teachers are prepared for it. Although this is a wonderful achievement that Higher Education Commission of Pakistan has shifted the whole traditional education system of Pakistan with one notification to the online learning. But how much it is viable? Okay, credit goes to our educationists. They are ready. Yes, we are ready to do it. But what is the mindset working behind it? The teacher's mindset. How much we are ready for this? It is really needed for interesting question for educationists to understand the access question, the readiness of the teacher. I will discuss these issues. First of all, what are our national statistics about the mobile phones and internet, which is the basic source of connectivity and access. In this aspect, Pakistan is a wonderful country, I will say. Pakistan is ranked among 35 out of 155 countries with best internet access. We have 165 million cellular subscribers, 76 million 3G or 4G subscribers, and 3 million basic telephony subscribers. These are the statistics provided by the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority. We have good subscription of broadband, which has been increased during the last 5 years, and it has reached to 76.3 millions right now. As concerned about the social media usage, I mean, how much we use, we get benefit out of this internet. We have a large number of social media users on internet. For example, we have 36 million social media users on Facebook, 6.3 million on Instagram, 1.26 million use WhatsApp. But most importantly, the gender-wise, male use more than social media than the female. Male have more access, the more convenienceability for the social media usage. So monthly social media user frequency is 51 million in Pakistan. So this was the one idea that, okay, we can use mobiles, internet. Another thing is that the social media usage, which can make the more easy the education, for like with YouTube, with Facebook, we can use this platform for our education. This is again a statistics that active social media users are like 83% visit every day, 31% visit 7 days a week, and 38% use per month, and 3% minimum people use the 365 days. But if we look at the current situation of COVID-19, if I look that if the things would be going on with the same speed without emergency, we might not have turned towards online learning for the next 20 years. But due to the corona, we have shifted abruptly, and we are seeing massive changes and the massive usage of these resources for our education purpose. This is our current situation at national level. That is broader picture we can see. Why I'm going to conduct this research? Research is available about educational emergencies in traditional setup like in wars, conflict. There is also research available on e-learning. But in this new phenomena, e-learning in COVID emergency is new phenomena and emerging phenomena in emergency. So there was a need to conduct research on mobile learning because mobile are the major source of internet usage in COVID-19. The objectives of my research was to find out the mobile learning acceptance among pre-service teachers, because teachers are linked between our educational system and our current system. To measure the impact of pre-service teachers' antecedents of mobile learning on their intentions towards mobile learning. To study the mediating role of pre-service teachers' intentions towards mobile learning in between their antecedents and mobile learning and readiness for mobile learning usage. This is my theoretical framework. Basically, this theoretical framework is based on the psychological and social aspect of a person, how they are intent to use certain things for learning. For example, here is the mobile phone is the basic thing that we want to see, that how much teachers are convenient to use mobile phones for learning process, teaching learning process. The basic three things you can see in theoretical framework, that performance expectancy, how much users are understand that technology can help them to make learning easy. Effort expectancy, how can they make it easy, the learning process. Social influence, that how much their peers, the other colleagues influence them that they must use these technologies for learning process. And facilitating conditions, that how much infrastructure is available to utilize these things. So these are the basic antecedents which influence a person to think about, okay, we are ready to use e-learning for the learning purpose, mobile learning for learning purpose. So this was the framework. I had three hypotheses. number one, there is no effect of antecedents of mobile learning on pre-service teachers' intention towards mobile learning. There is no effect of antecedents of mobile learning on pre-service teachers' readiness for mobile learning, and there is no mediating role of pre-service teachers' intention toward mobile learning in between intensity of mobile learning and mobile learning readiness. A quantitative cross-sectional survey method was used to collect data from public and private universities. This questionnaire was adapted from previously existing questionnaires. This question was circulated into public universities and 2 private universities. And total number of 429 people participated in this survey from the teacher education department of the universities in Pakistan. Data was made reliable by assessing the normality, skewness, and criticism of the data. And the reliability of the data was like 0.8. Confirmatory factor analysis was performed on the data. That was the basic process to analyze it. Then I will show the descriptive statistics and path analysis of my data to show you the complete the ground realities. I have discussed with you the national level realities by showing you the major surveys in the beginning of my presentation, but now I will show you the ground realities. According to descriptive statistics, the teacher education student was my focus basically, and it can also be generalized for university students because teacher education students from science education, elementary education, special need education participated in this survey. It was found out that more than 80% of students have mobiles and access to internet. This was the wonderful thing that was observed. It shows that we can utilize mobile learning for teaching learning process. The feasibility is there. 55% of students use the internet every day. 80% of students have internet outside the university. 72% of students use university wireless network. 90% of students pay for internet facilities. And right now, because due to the COVID situation, students are at home. So 100% of students pay for internet facilities now. 55% of students think that internet price is affordable. 74% of students like mobile learning. 57% of students use educational applications. 50% of students have experience participated in M-learning in the past. Students shows, and now about the social media usage.
Dr.
Yes,
running a little bit low on time. I know it's a rude thing to disrupt a doctor on his
No
flow
problem.
and
Just
right at the, yeah.
3 slides left.
Because we have some questions also, no? There are interesting questions coming up. So
No
if
problem.
you can just wrap it up in like 10, 15 seconds and then we'll ask you questions.
No
Thank you, sir.
problem. So mostly students use WhatsApp and Facebook as most important social media for them, and YouTube and Twitter the later on. And I go to the final findings. My finding is that 20% of students do not have access to internet. 45% of students do not use the internet daily. 10% of students have access to free internet. 28% of students do not like mobile learning. 45% students consider that internet is not affordable. 43% of students did not use educational applications. Emails are a useful source of official communication with students. Conclusion. University teachers encourage mobile learning among pre-service teachers. Pakistani universities provide on-campus free of cost internet to the facilitate M-learning, but students found it difficult to access internet with pocket money. Mobile phones are easy to use and enhance the learning of pre-service teachers. Intentions mediate intensity of mobile learning and readiness for the M-learning. Pre-service teachers are ready to accept mobile phone technology usage in Pakistan. This is the final conclusion. Thank you very much.
Dr. Saab, I have a quick question. How to solve students lacking accessibility from remote areas since mobile companies are not providing access to data, Google Classroom, etc., Google Meet or Zoom?
Very interesting question, Ali Chauhan. Actually, it's not possible even in Europe to access internet everywhere. So in this case, I think educationists can play. There is the third mode of learning, that is the offline learning. We can tailor-made the things. Universities can tailor-made the things to provide the material to students for offline usage, which they can utilize on computers, on their laptops.
At this point, I would really like to thank you very much. Any other questions that we have, we would also like to post them to you through Wi-Fi, and we are putting it up so that all the candidates could have their questions sent to them, and we could have an interactive session with them also.